The Wake Up Call. Now live on the best entertainment has to offer. Good music, good times. Where the culture lives. Edgy, witty, and raw. Yep, this is The Wake Up Call.
Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you guys feeling? Like, listen, I haven't heard that song in so long. That was one of my issues when I was a baby.
Not the baby.
Yes, because I am only 21.
Oh. So how am I older than you? I'm only 23.
Make it make sense, Lord.
Listen.
I'm only 18.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you take it too far. Like we. Hi guys, how are
What
you
you trying to
guys
say? That's not
feeling?
believable?
Rari, we've
In the
been
wise
fighting
words of Consuela,
whole-
that's cute.
That's cute. We've been fighting whole morning. Get a rest now. We have
Okay.
guests. We have visitors. We have,
We do. Let's be on our best behavior.
We have to be here.
Can we? Yeah.
Just be here.
Make sure the thing is properly down on the mic. Yeah.
Good morning. How are you feeling?
You would like to turn her mic on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm learning.
Me too.
She got her stimulus this morning, so she's a little,
Stimulated.
So excited. Yes. Where are we going with that stimmy? Where are we going?
Listen, I'm thinking I could invest in my balloon business.
Oh.
Oh, fun.
So good morning, guys. We have Marva Jones. No? No?
Marva Brown. Good
Wow, so why
morning.
is Jones? Okay, I'm
I'm
sorry.
so
I
sorry.
apologize.
That's all right.
I should have
So
known.
happy it's not me this time.
First of all,
My bad. I don't sit. I'm so sorry. We have
Thank you.
guests.
I apologize.
No problem.
But yes, I am going to get this right, though. She is running for District Court Judge.
Kings County Civil Court,
District 2?
Municipal District 2. Yes.
See, I got some right.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So explain that for me, because we had another candidate who was here recently that is also running for civil court, right?
I think
Right.
so.
So there's multiple positions available this
Okay.
year for Kings County Civil Court, and there's differences because you can run countywide where all of Brooklyn is eligible to
I think-
vote for you. And my municipal district includes a little bit of Crown Heights, a little bit of Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hill, Ocean Hill. So I'm running in Municipal District 2. That's
nice.
When
that's where my people are.
Sorry.
And you know what? I like that.
My people. So when you say a little bit of Crown Heights, how does that work? So the whole of Crown Heights, the whole of Crown Heights cannot vote for you. Which sections? Like, how does that work?
Correct. The way they've drawn districting lines, right? We're up for redistricting this year. So our part of Crown Heights includes, I think it's the north side of Eastern Parkway. So Eastern Parkway to Atlantic Avenue, from Schenectady Avenue down to Bedford, like that
Oh, that's-
square
I can't vote for
radius.
you. It's a couple
Are you
blocks from me.
Are you on the other side of Eastern Parkway? Right. So anything kind of, I live right on Brower Park, so that's like the center for me. Anything surrounding Brower Park is the district.
Okay, so
Crown
for
Heights side.
those of us who wants to get into voting, because I've never voted for a judge before.
Right.
Where do we go, especially with those lines and everything? Like, where do we go to look for who you could vote for and where? You understand what I'm saying? Where's
Right.
the lines and all of that?
So the easiest way is the New York City Board of Elections website. And on the website, you can literally pull up Kings County, all of the districts. You can see Municipal District 2 and look at the map, and it'll show you all the boundaries. Also, if you do, am I registered, right? You can pull up your voter file and see what your districts are, not only for Municipal District 2, but for City Council, congressional districts. There's lines for everything.
everything.
And there's overlap too. The assembly districts for New York State Assembly, like Municipal District 2 for court, includes multiple assembly districts. So we're AD 57, 43, 52. It's a lot.
All right.
But the maps are online.
No, but knowing where to go, it's important.
New
Definitely
York
is
City
important.
Board of Elections.
So let me ask a question. We really got into the nitty gritty of what you're here for. But
Yes.
for the people who don't know you, give us a quick summary of yourself up to this point and how you got here.
Right. So I have always loved criminal law and thought that it's a way that I can affect change. I come from a family where my grandma was a warden of Westchester County Jail. My grandfather was an officer at Sing Sing Prison. My uncles were corrections officers. But it was always presented to me as you can help these people before they get to prison. And that's why I became a criminal defense attorney. I went to Columbia University undergrad, the Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law for law school. And I moved to Brooklyn when I was in law school. So I've been here almost 20 years now. I love Brooklyn. It's my home. My husband is born and raised in Brooklyn. We've made the choice to stay here and raise our 3 kids here. So this is my community, and I just want to make a positive impact. For the last 15 years, I've been a public defender. I've worked in Nassau County, Bronx County, and I've been in Brooklyn since 2010, working full-time in the courts every day. I do all types of litigation, from suppression hearings, jury trials, bench trials, any crime from the smallest open container ticket and disorderly conduct to assault, DWI. I've done some homicide cases that I'm working on now. So, it's very busy.
Right across the spectrum.
Right across the spectrum. And the interesting thing is that criminal law intersects with so many other areas of law. So when you get arrested for a crime, you might lose your job. That's employment law. You might lose access to your children. That's family law. You might lose your immigration status. So I have to know some immigration law as well. Housing law, so the practice has given me the opportunity to learn multiple areas of law that I can use on the bench.
And why this position right now?
Oh, after 10 years, you're eligible to be a judge, 10 years of practicing. But I think that, I see a lot of injustices happening in court every day at the hands of the judiciary. Everyone says, judges have to follow the law and be fair and impartial, but we're humans. And some of those judges have biases and don't see value in the people of our community. And so I think it's important to have someone who loves this community, cares about this community, sitting on the bench. And that's my goal. And, I worked on a colleague's campaign up in the Bronx, and I was petitioning for him. And I said, if I can do that for him, I could do it for myself. Right? So I've hit the streets with my volunteers. We're out here every day. When I leave here, I'll be in the streets getting signatures.
Yeah, I know. I've heard you've been in the streets every day.
Every day.
While Unholy is saying Black Girl Magic.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are happy to have you here. And I was about to ask, I was like, but what's the importance of us voting? And we had this whole thing with me. Last year was the first year I voted.
Okay. Congratulations. Welcome to the party. It's important. It's a big thing. And
it wasn't for me, I've always felt like it wasn't important and it wasn't influenced. So I'm talking for the people who this is new to, and that's why I asked, where can you go to find out all these things, because it's so foreign to me. And I think we take for granted that for a lot of people who don't vote, that it's foreign. We don't know. I didn't know I could vote for one of the judges. Right. I really didn't know until we started getting guests here that could do it. And
I didn't know that either.
Right.
Yeah,
so for those of us who, what is the importance, besides, just having one of us on the
bench?
The bench. What is the importance of really getting out there and voting? Is it true that we make that much change? Voting for I don't know if voting for a judge is the same as voting for a congressman, because they have certain influences. So explain
Right. So I think the biggest difference is, congressmen, city council, assembly members, they make the laws, right? So we need to have our voices heard as voters to say, this is what the law should say. However, when we vote for judges, the judges enforce the law, rule, make decisions based on the law. And again, there are ways where the law allows for injustices to occur, and that's the human element. So I think it is important for everyone to vote. And when you're voting, it's like this year especially, there's so many important races in the Democratic primary. We're voting for New York City mayor. We're voting for Brooklyn Borough president. They have money that can come and flow into our communities and give us what we need. Right. So it's important. There's so many people running for city council. What are their interests? Where are they going to put the money in our community? Are they going to invest in schools, or are they going to invest in, parks in ritzy neighborhoods, right? Our inner city schools need money as well. And so it's important to make sure you go all the way down the ballot, because honestly, I think my civil race will be like at the bottom, page 5, because I think there's so many people, and now with ranked choice voting, that's a new thing people have to worry about. And this,
We gotta go back to that or something.
right? Like I've even like done some informationals where I'm learning as a voter what it means ranked choice voting, because this is new. This is our first time in New York City in 2021 having ranked choice voting. It's not for every race. I know my race will not be ranked choice voting, but definitely mayor, Brooklyn Borough President, and City Council, where you can say who is my first choice, my second choice, my third choice, and my fourth choice. And then hopefully the majority wins.
Yeah, so that they do rank choice sometimes in balloting for like MVPs and stuff, and whoever gets the highest percentage of first place votes versus
You said MVP
yeah,
in sports?
Yeah, that's where I learned rank choice. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's
I'm hearing you guys say it, and I still don't know what it is.
so. Can I give her a quick example?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So usually when you do rank choice, you have a list of candidates, right? And then you say, hey, A is my first choice, B is my second choice, C is my third choice. She may have a different setup. She may say C is my first choice, B is my second choice, A is my first choice. Then each letter is given a weight versus first, second, and whoever gets like the most first place votes, followed by the second place votes, followed by the third place votes, and that's how you get the winner.
It's not even about how much people get the votes each. Just whoever got that first bracket, whoever got the most votes in that first bracket as the first pick, that's how they do it.
So why even offer?
They're making it hard. I feel like they're just making it harder, in a sense.
No, I'm like, I think I got that when you said it, but in my head, it's like, why not just vote for the person you want to? Why rank it out like that?
I think it's trying to give more people more of a say in who is elected, right? Because if there might be ties, very close numbers, things like that. So it's allowing more people to have a choice.
It helps avoid runoffs.
Yeah.
Runoffs are expensive, so I think that's a way of avoiding to spend that money just in case the races are tight. But on the other end, I think it's a way for people who lose to get data on where they might be weak, and versus that ranked choice will give you a lot of data for people to go siphon through after.
Right. And multiple people, they say if they don't win the first time, well, will you run again?
Yeah.
And if you do well in ranked choice voting, maybe you came in second.
Yeah.
You might go
got
next
it.
time.
Yeah. So it's a little like that.
How much times can you run?
I don't think there's a limit. I mean, if you don't win, right, you can keep going.
You can keep going.
I know there are certain candidates that are term limited, so they're not able to run again, and that's why there's so much interest to replace them now, because they've been in for like 12 years in city council, and now's the time for someone to get fresh blood in there.
So let me ask a question. If I'm voting for you, what am I getting?
You're getting Marva Brown, an attorney for the people. I've been in the streets, again, not for just petitioning for myself, but it's part of my job. I have to go out and speak to complaining witnesses. I go to their homes. I go to stores and get video surveillance. So I'm someone who's deeply embedded in the community and out there to hear from people, right? I represent my clients, but I also have an interest in understanding the other side. And the fact that I know that is something that's effective for me on the bench, right? Like, to advocate is to know what arguments matter to all sides. And I think that I've gained that skill very well over the years. And that's what you're getting with me.
That's great. That's important, because when you have somebody outside of our community, and I think that's where a lot of the racism and the confusion and all of that, even the police officers, like, they don't, I don't want to say that they don't mean malice, but a lot of them don't understand what it is to live here.
Right.
And they don't.
I'm sorry.
No, please. And
I was going to say, I have an example that just always sticks in my mind, where I was making a bail application in front of a judge, and I said, this young man, he volunteers at the Brownsville Community Justice Center. He's an intern, and he teaches DJing classes. You guys are in the radio industry. He teaches DJing classes to younger children, and this is what he does in his spare time after school. And the judge said, Brownsville? Well, he needs to stay out of there. And I was like, that's what you got out of what I just said? Not that he's responsible, that people trust him with his children. He has a skill that he's sharing and teaching to others, but you just heard Brownsville as a negative. And that's the kind of thing that having Marva Brown on the bench, like I know what these community centers are doing and the value that they provide in our communities. And I see value in our community, not something to stay away from.
Right.
And that's real. Like, they don't understand.
So what is the makeup right now of the bench in terms of like white versus women versus people of color?
You know, I'll be honest, in Brooklyn, it's very diverse in terms of, there's a lot of Black women judges. There's a lot of, women. And so I think it's diverse in color and gender, but I'm talking about diversity in mindset because, you know, you can come from a certain office, a certain background, and not see value in the people that are in our community. And I think that that's the difference between me and making a conscious choice to stay in the community and work in our community, because that's the value that I see.
How hard was that choice to stay in the community?
You know, well, I grew up in Albany and Westchester, so I've gotten it over many years. Come back to Albany, get your kids out of Brooklyn. They need a backyard. And I'm like, I'm president of the Friends of Broward Park. Like, the whole park is our front yard. Like, our kids have everything, and we see the value in being in this community. And so for me, it wasn't a hard choice, but I have gotten those comments over the years from various people in my life. But, you know, we're staying.
I would say for me, it's a hard decision. And I don't have any kids or mean. But operating my business here is challenging because of all the taxes and the cost of living here is getting
astronomical.
It is.
I was going to say ridiculous, but thank you. So that decision, voting, I'm hoping that voting and getting our voice will be able to influence all of that. For people like me who I moved here 6 years ago. I didn't know too much about the culture here. I moved from St. Thomas. It's a very, very different culture. I am now getting to love Brooklyn. Like, no. When I say no, I mean this year, no. There's great things about it and the conveniences that you have here, but I never felt like the conveniences outweigh the negatives of living here. Give me some pros of living in Brooklyn and why we should stay in Brooklyn and why you need to, I get why you need to make your voice heard, but is my voice going to help with, the taxes or the cost of living or all of that stuff? Or is it just for like making sure that our youth stay out of jail when they shouldn't be there? Like, that's the stuff I want to know.
Yes, you can have your voice heard. I mean, I encourage people all the time to take part in community activities, right? Because there are so many great people that have ideas and good things to do for our community, but also we need manpower. We need feet on the ground. And I had a meeting with SOS, Save Our Streets. I had a meeting with the district attorney's office. Right. Do you volunteer with them, though?
I do. Because my building has the flower pot, and I put up my blue light just because she told me that, we need to beautify the neighborhood. So when you go by my house, there's a big blue light.
Right. Block associations are really strong here. Like, we're talking about trash pickup. Certain neighborhoods, garbage is overflowing. Or we go to Manhattan, there's a garbage can on every single street corner. So you have 4 options of places to throw your trash, but we don't have that in
our neighborhood. And I did go to a couple meetings just for that. Like, I've been having issues with my neighbor and trash because I live in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood, and they've been putting the trash in front of my house, and we've been getting tickets for it. So I did go to a couple council meetings, and I was telling them on air, it's not illegal for them to put their trash in front of my house. I did not know that. So I think stuff like that is why we need to get involved, because I want to make that illegal. If you can handle that for me, that would be amazing.
Well, again, as a judge, I would not be making law, but I encourage you to report, call 311, make complaints. Everyone is talking about these Ring cameras now. Put the cameras out. If you can show video of them carrying it in front of your house and depositing it, that can make a difference.
We have evidence of them doing it. They have something called civil mediation. That's where they sent us. Because it's not illegal.
Right.
Even if you have evidence of it, it's not illegal. So they sent us to civil mediation.
Isn't that crazy? That you're getting charged for somebody doing something that's not illegal. You're paying a fine for it.
Right. So it's like
It's not illegal. That's
I
crazy.
think the dumping is the problem because they should not be dumping their waste in front of your home, right? They have to do proper disposal. So I would suggest you speak to like your city councilman or
about
something
proper
like-
disposal. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and sanitation directly because I'm sure that they should not be doing that.
Yeah, because I called 311 several times. Like I've been to the meetings, and that's what they told us. And like I said, they sent us to civil mediation. He said he won't do it again. I thought it was resolved, and I came in here real mad one day. So
It's frustrating,
We
yeah.
need to, like you said, we need to have people who understand those things because that's small compared to a lot of the things that's going on. But that's insignificant to me.
It's significant to you as an individual, and you're a voter, and you pay taxes, and that should be
I
resolved
pay a lot
for
of
you.
taxes. I live in Crown Heights.
A lot of taxes.
So yeah, sorry, that was my little rant for the day.
Oh, I'm gonna steal Kareem's question because he always asks this. What is it that you do for fun?
I'm very busy. So for fun is watching a movie with my husband, like just having that quiet time after we put the kids to bed. I'm turning 40 this year. I love to travel, so I'm trying to take a vacation
sure
with
it's
my
40?
girlfriends.
You look amazing.
Oh,
She sure? I don't think she's 40. I think she lying. I'm trying to figure out what point.
I'm shocked.
I used to be the young attorney, not anymore. Like,
You know what?
I
I
have
was just
that.
about to ask you.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I had that conversation yesterday with my wife. I said, you know what? I used to be the youngest person in the room.
Yeah.
I remember coming up when I just got here. I was the youngest manager in my retail organization. I was one of the youngest managers when I switched over to Chase, and
No.
I'm no longer that person.
Right.
I'm the
And I used
person.
to identify with being that person, so I get it. It's a weird. Sorry, we're going in.
No, it's
a
a, I feel it. It's a
weird
strange
shift. Like,
transition.
I was the youngest manager at Ultra Diamonds. I was the only black person there. I was the youngest person
Yeah.
to be a brand ambassador. Youngest. Like I've always been the youngest person, and now it's like, okay, I'm 36, and it's like, you ain't young no more.
Yeah,
girl. You're not
It's relative. I used to have a supervisor, and I'd go into his office and I'd say, "Hit this person, you know, this old man," and he's like, "Wait, Marva, stop. Old to me or old to you?" Because it makes a difference. Like it's relative.
it does, but
To
you
some
feel
people, I'm a
it
baby.
because now
But
there's younger people coming up under you, and you love them, but it's always that when did I not when
When did
it
this
shift?
happen? Yeah.
yeah, like I was in high school the same time as your mother. Okay, I'm old enough to be your mother, yet you're my colleague. That's what I experienced, you know. So I get it. I get it.
What do you think is the one most important thing that we should all know about, like civil court judges and in what they do?
You know, it's important to know that the civil court has 120 judges in New York City, but only 50 of them actually sit in the civil court. Less than half, right? So the other judges sit in criminal court, family court, and housing court. So it's important to have a diverse background when you're thinking of who you're electing to the bench, because more likely than not, they're not going to be sitting in the civil court.
Who sits in traffic court? That's a different type of judge.
Yeah, I think those are administrative law judges and
Okay.
they're
I hate those
attorneys.
guys. I
So,
just wanted to put
I
that
beat
out
a
there.
case in the DMV
Yeah?
one time for my husband. So he was like, now I can really say you a good
Nice,
lawyer.
So one of our listeners asks, how do I go about getting my record expunged after 23 years?
Unfortunately, in the state of New York, there's no expungement of criminal convictions.
Ooh, I gotta behave.
You
Yeah,
probably
behave.
should, yes. There are certificates of relief from civil disabilities that they can apply for through the court. Things like that through Department of Probation, I think, handles it. But tell them to Google Certificate of Relief from Civil Disabilities.
What's a certificate of relief?
And that's basically just saying you have this conviction, but it's so old, it's so long ago that it should not be held against you.
Which would probably still
For
be held
jobs,
against him.
housing, things like that. And it's kind of like a letter, an order from the court that you can take around and show. And it shouldn't be used against a person, especially if they've been out of trouble for 23 years. Yeah.
Okay,
I did not know that you cannot get an expungement.
Not in the
city.
state of New York.
we don't just entertain you here.
We
educate
educate you.
But if you, lobby, talk to your legislatures, maybe that's something that will change in the state of New York.
Oh, there we go.
I think
Right?
we
It's not set in stone.
I think we underestimate our power as citizens to vote because
And
we
to influence.
we only think about the major
presidential.
and probably your senators
Senate.
and stuff like that.
Right.
But
And I heard a statistic that only 500,000 people elect the mayor of the city of New York. That's insane. We're a city of
500,000?
over 8 million people. But
and only 500,000
how many people
voted?
actually vote in these off-year elections?
I
Right?
don't.
That's what it's about.
Like I said, my first year, and most people don't even, I speak to a lot of people, they don't even vote. And I'm not just talking about kids out of school or anything like that. I'm talking about my mentor. She's had her business for 30 years. She's been living in New York for, I don't want to say 40 something years. She has 3 houses here, never voted she voted for presidents and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but never vote for local.
Right.
elections. And these are the people that make the decision that affects us
For
on a daily
everyday life.
So like I'm
Yes.
saying, successful people who live in the community, who is having gripes in this community, I believe because we think the major one is the ones that affect us the most, when the smaller ones is the ones that do.
Yeah.
And we need to get out of that habit, myself included.
Right. And I think I've been using the opportunity of petitioning to meet people and talk to them and say these things, because a lot of people have said, oh, no, I don't vote, or I'm not a Democrat, or I'm not in this party, I don't do this. And it's like, that's fine, that's your choice. But when you start complaining, what are you complaining about? Because you're not taking part in the process.
Exactly.
How can you complain if you're not even trying, if you're not putting your voice out there to be heard in one way or another?
I have a group of friends that I'm in a group chat with. There's one particular one that always gives us, the country is fixed and stuff. I wish you can hear this conversation, because
I was one of those.
if you don't take an active role in the day-to-day. The one time that changed, there were 2 experiences I had that changed my thoughts about the whole process of politics and the legal system. I took part in a grand jury. I was a part of a grand jury, and that opened up my eyes a lot to racial profiling and how we look at things one way when it's totally a different way. And even right now, with all the videos coming back, I went back to my thought process during my grand jury experience, and there might have been cases where I voted because I believed the officers off the bat. Now looking back at it, I should have had a more, open mind to it. So that experience was a big eye opener. And the second one was one time DJing at an event, I got my system confiscated. And I kept calling, and they kept giving me the runaround until I decided to go to one of the, I don't know what the meeting is called, but they have those meetings at the precincts where...
Yeah.
Precinct Community Council.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't vote, but I go to the meeting.
I actually went to one of those, and I stood up and I gave a very heartfelt speech about what them keeping my equipment
Because you're
meant
losing
to, yeah.
income. That's your
And-
source of supporting your family. Yeah.
And within a day, I got my stuff back.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Because those people that are there, they have power. And it's not just them putting on the show of appearing. Like, if you can
Yeah.
get their ear,
yeah.
you have
Yeah,
access
I was
to
just
so
watching
much
something
power.
on YouTube that with a guy car set on fire. It took 15 minutes for the fire people to come. This was like 5 years ago. Take
Yeah.
15 minutes for them to come, and it caught the car in front of him on fire. The insurance didn't pay out because it wasn't the fault of the driver, because in New York City, and I just learned this, in New York City, they don't cover the cars, they cover the driver.
Yeah.
So if it's not the driver's fault, they don't pay the claim. Right, and they needed the report from the fire to tell them what started it, because if it was the car's fault, then he could sue the manufacturer to get his car, or if it's the driver's fault, then the insurance would cover it. It took them 2 years for them to get the
report.
And when the report came back, because they didn't follow up on it right away, it was inconclusive. So it's like this guy lost his car almost, and like he wasn't fully covered. So I was like, these stuff really...
A lot of stuff, you won't know that a lot of stuff is happening or what you can do until after the fact, and it's too late.
And we don't want to be reactionary. We want to be
exactly
proactive.
Like, I had an accident, and it was the other person's fault, but the way that the police officer wrote the report, I didn't know that I can go there and say, no.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
I didn't know that, because it's whatever the insurance get. You thinking, listen, it's whatever the police say. I don't have no choice. That's what. after the fact, I found out that I could have went there. And it's just like so much different things that you don't know that's going on in your own community. The speed cameras. I didn't know that the speed cameras wasn't supposed to be anywhere they felt like the speed cameras was supposed to be at.
Wait, what?
It's supposed to be in school zones.
I think they had a vote on that to expand that a few months ago. So, yeah.
See?
But they
But
Bus
fight
lanes.
the tickets. I mean, you can still, as an individual, I fought a ticket recently myself and just took pictures of the street signs and emailed it in to the judge, and I won. Never had to appear or anything. It was very easy. Just take pictures and email it. So you have to like assert yourself in the voice. And I'll say this about this voting. Voter suppression is real. It's still happening in this country. And there's a reason why they want us not to vote, right? So that is something in itself a reason to vote and get out there.
I'm getting out there, man.
So before you get out of here,
Oh, what time is it?
I want you to give people all the information on where they can find you,
Yeah.
your website, your social media, and anybody you want to say thank you to, just anybody you want to shout.
Right. I would say thank you to my whole team. I have a team of volunteers, dedicated friends, colleagues, family members that are helping me with this campaign, and I appreciate them and their hard work so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm on marvaforjudge.com. That's my website, marvaforjudge.com. I also have we have an Instagram that's Marva4 Judge 2021, Marva4Judge 2021 on Instagram. And we have a committee Facebook. It's Committee to Elect Marva Brown on Facebook. Committee to Elect Marva Brown. So we're creating content so people can hear from me, see me, and get to know me, even if they don't happen to meet me on the street. But I'm hoping to meet a lot of voters on the street.
Do you guys have a link tree?
I don't know what that is.
All right. So let me
I'm in good company.
we're gonna educate you today.
Linktree.
You see how you gave us those 4 different
Platforms?
URLs and platforms,
Yes.
and they might be a lot to remember.
Uh-huh.
If you have a link tree, it's one link.
Okay.
Once somebody
And they
clicks
click
on
it?
it or they type in it, all the links to your different platforms will show up, and they can go wherever they want from there.
Okay, so my social media intern, Marquise, I don't know if you're watching.
Yes.
Someone call Marquise and let him know. I need a link tree.
You need a link tree. Yeah. So our link tree is very short. What is it?
LINKTR.ee/GMGT.
That's it.
Okay.
And once anybody enters that, they will find every single link you post.
And that's
to that.
posted to, I believe, all the social media stuff. So if you click on it, you will get everybody.
You get everything.
I just learned yesterday.
Yeah.
Not yet, literally yesterday, but recently. So, yeah.
Oh, GMGT .live.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So pull up the link tree. Let you see what it looks like a little bit.
Okay. Is this a separate app?
No.
No.
You just put it into your
Yeah.
Oh,
and it
okay.
gives you all
All
everything.
right. I like it.
Yeah. So
Marquise, link tree.
Yeah.
You can touch anything and it's gonna automatically come right up.
Take you
Okay.
there, and it's short. It's easy to remember, and you can get one of those what's those codes again? Those little
The
QR
QR
codes.
We have a QR code. Like we have palm cards that we give out
Yeah.
to people when we meet. And
Right.
so the QR code is
So
on
if you do
there.
the Linktree QR code, one code.
Yeah, when
for
they start
everywhere.
it.
Okay,
go
maybe we'll
anywhere
do
they
that
want.
for future advertising. Because the point is, we're collecting signatures now, and so we'll be done by next week.
And the signatures
then
has
the
to be from
campaign
people
will-
within your district
Yes,
area.
only
Okay,
eligible
all right.
voters can sign. No, thank you.
So,
You know.
we will. Anybody lives in
A little bit of Crown Heights, a little bit of
A lot of Bed-Stuy.
Clinton Hill.
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy.
Clinton Hill. Little
Anybody
Ocean
on
Hill.
the other side of which that would be the north side of Eastern
I'm
Parkway?
so terrible, but I believe it is the
Yeah,
north
the
side.
north side of
Yeah,
Eastern
don't
Parkway.
ask.
Yeah, because we got
I
to
hate
climb
when
up the
people be
hill.
like,
Eastern Parkway to Atlantic Avenue.
Right.
That's
Schenectady to Bedford.
I live on Montgomery side, so
Yes.
mine is a different. Before we go, because I see it's the time, I would like to say, hey, Hurricane, he wasn't feeling well, and I just want to say, hey, I hope you feel a lot better.
I hope you
Feel better.
All right, Judge. Any last points? Any last things?
Future
And
Judge.
anything you want us to?
We're putting it in the atmosphere.
You want-
Please
Judge
vote.
Brown.
Get out there and vote all the way down the ballot. Like I said, it's going to be a long ballot this year, but remember Marva Brown when you get
said 5
there.
pages?
Tell your friends, family, if you don't live in Municipal District 2, but you know someone who lives there, tell them look out for me. Marva4judge.com.
Marva4Judge.com.
Marva4Judge.com. Linktree coming soon.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
When are the votes? When
The
Elections?
election is
The
June
election.
22nd. Democratic
22nd.
primary, June 22nd. So if you're not a registered Democrat, I think it's too late for you to switch your party designation. There was a cutoff in February for that, but June 22nd for the
What
Democratic
about the people
primary.
who haven't registered yet?
You can still register.
Okay.
311, and again, the Board of Elections, New York City Board of Elections website.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you so much for
Thanks
taking
for
the time to
having
come and talk
me.
to us,
You
to
heard
come
this, guys.
educate
Go
us.
out there, vote, 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 vote,
Yeah.
vote. I can't say that enough. Vote.
Yes.
All
We
right.
need a sign back here.
Yeah, we could get a sign going up here says vote. I'll work
You
on
do
it.
it on June
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What date?
June
June 22nd.
You do it
22nd.
on June 22nd.
All right,
Thank
guys. Thank you, Judge. I'm putting it out there.
Future judge.
No,
No,
Judge.
no.
Judge
Say,
Brown.
like I like to say it with your chest. Judge.
Judge.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The wake up call. Consuela, Storm, Kareem,
The best.
the
morning
future
show.
judge
Yes,
in the
and
building.
the future judge. Judge Brown.
Municipality
I like the way
District
it
2.
sounds.
See?
Municipal District 2.
All right.
Kings County.
Kings
That's I'm just
County.
called. Hi, Judge Brown.
I'll be like, I know Judge Brown.
I'm showing you. Hey, girl.
Like we've been friends forever.
All right, guys. It's been a wonderful time. Shout out to everybody that was here this
Yes,
morning.
all the warriors.
Like I say, we don't always entertain you. We
We
also
educate.
educate you.
Yes.
So good music, good times is what the culture lives. Good morning, team. We out.
Ew.
Bye.
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 Good morning.